Let me tell you what an ambush looks like in Congress. So we're taking a normal vote. This vote is so normal that entire decades can go by without it failing. It's just the vote that lays out the other things we're going to vote on. It's the engine that starts the week. All of a sudden, something weird happens. The vote starts to fail. So I'm watching the speaker as the speaker is watching the vote. And as soon as the vote starts going down, he marches over to a member of his own party and they start going back and forth.
All right, so that's North Carolina Congressman Jeff Jackson, who represents Mecklenburg County, detailing the ongoing issue right now in Capitol Hill to keep the federal government open. Well, this weekend, Republican Speaker of the House Mike Johnson and Democratic Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer struck a deal on a short-term spending plan to push the deadline for a government shutdown to the beginning of March.
Well, the stopgap bill would extend the funding for agencies overseeing transportation, energy, and agriculture from this Friday to March 1st. Defense spending would have a new March 8th deadline, but that agreement still needs to pass a vote, both in the U.S. House of Representatives and in the U.S. Senate. As Representative Jackson detailed for us, House Speaker Johnson is running into issues within his own party, preventing him from passing the bill. Joining us now to discuss this further is Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes.
So, Khalif, when you look at this, it looks like the House might be in store for another shakeup because right now, House Speaker Mike Johnson is coming under fire by his own party.
Under fire, ducking, dodging. It seems like oftentimes we're in uncharted territory. We're in some weird place between Oz and Wonderland, and that's kind of what we're doing right now as a country. Normally, you're rewarded when you can work across the aisle, and the reason that he's ducking for his parochial political life is because he worked across the aisle with the Senate and attempting to try to avoid a government shutdown. Well, his right flank, the extreme right flank, is frustrated with that compromise, a word that seems to be missing in Washington and even in local politics, but in Washington where it affects our budget for sure.
Yeah, and it seems like that right flank is the same thing that we saw there with Kevin McCarthy, how he got ousted before, and that's what he's having to deal with right now. And part of that rank flank could be some of our local politicians.
What I can tell you is that the problem or the difference between those two is McCarthy was someone that was, I think, more relatable to former President Trump in terms of his approach. And I don't want to be bullied and I won't let you bully. I think the current speaker is someone that is more diplomatic, that can find and tries to find compromise. When this happened, and we have to remember, this is something that normally happens every week in Congress, where they are just voting on what the agenda is for the week. Not a vote to avert the shutdown, not a vote to look at the border, not a vote for Ukraine, but a vote to decide if we can even vote on any of this stuff for the week. And they shut that vote down. So at some point, he walks down the aisle and says, you know what, guys, let's stop this. I had an opportunity to talk with Congressman Jeff Jackson right here from our own district. And he said, this is something that never happens and it should not happen. And because we have folks on the extreme far that don't want to compromise, things like this will happen. He believes we can avoid a shutdown. But it's going to take work. It's going to take folks walking behind the scenes and making sure that they remember that the people sent them there and they're not there for their own agenda.
So my question for you is there any way for House Speaker Mike Johnson to avoid a government shutdown without getting Democratic support?
No.
Right.
Not at all.
With that, it's almost a catch-22 because then the members of his own party, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, are saying, look, we don't want you to get Democratic support. And then that causes the whole problem.
They want to shut down.
I'm not a comedian, but what did they say? The math ain't math. And for sure, in this situation, it doesn't add up. You need the numbers. The margin is so thin for you to be able to get anything to pass. You need someone from the other side to push it forward. And so I appreciate the fact that there are some folks within the Republican Party that recognize that and are tired of this bully ball that some of the extreme folks are trying to do.
Well, clearly, that'd be the House Speaker.
And I like the fact that the Speaker's saying, not today. We're going to push forward with the American people's desire to get this done.
Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes breaking it down for us tonight.